What's going on, everybody? We welcome you back to another episode of San Diego Prep Insider presented by Palomar Insurance. Please go support the people that support us. Speaking of supporting us, WBK Sports, Eric Williams here, has supported us since day one, and it is appreciated because I don't know what he saw in us. I don't know what he sees in us as a media outlet, because we are not that. We are people that I posted a meme of Mark Ingram today going, I'm about that. So, whatever he saw, I'm glad that it was the future. So, want to talk about, you are a North County based person, but you are also
Yes, sir.
holistically an entirety of the football scene thing because you are voting in the top 10. So it's reached a point where I posted on this earlier today, and I want to just let you have the floor on this. I don't have anything that I'm trying to tee you up on other than just let's
Mm.
talk top 10. Um, it feels like right now there's like five schools that are directly in control of their own destiny for open, maybe three or four, maybe even five schools that are hanging on of like, if we don't lose another game, we could still make open somehow. And then another
Yeah.
like 10 schools who are all like, okay, the second that any of you slip, we're getting top 10. But like that others receiving votes is another top 10. So what do you see? How's this football season treating you? Floor is yours.
Hey, it's great right now, man. I'm fired up. We're just about halfway through the season. And you're right. There are some teams out there who are fighting for it. You got to look at number one Lincoln. I mean, they're the elite, in my opinion. They should have all 30 of our votes in there. They got my vote as number one. They practically won three straight open division championships, just missed by a point, in that 2 years ago, won it last year, trying to be the first team to repeat open wise. And the thing is they put the smackdown on Cathedral their last four meetings by a couple touchdowns. So that's kind of why I have Lincoln up there is my one, and I actually have Mission Hills as my two in that situation, just based on that crazy playoff game last season where Mission Hills like held the ball for an entire half. You know what I mean? They were one of the teams that I thought actually threatened Lincoln in that situation. So I got Cathedral as my three. No disrespect. I mean, that's an amazing team over there with Cathedral. They got a lot of great kids over there. And I got, that gives me LCC is my four, which brings up a good point, which you're talking about here, because you're talking about teams fighting for playoff positions next week. Not next week. Avocado League has a bye this week, but the following week, I believe, first week of October, Acosta Canyon and Mission Hills will be playing each other. That'll be one of our first games to kind of decide that top tier. Because you got to think Lincoln and Cathedral are probably going to stay up there, although Cathedral has a gauntlet of a schedule, which they're still going to have to grind through. But I think overall, I think I top that off with Carlsbad is my five. What do you think? What about you? What was your top five, and then we can discuss the
No, those
bottom.
are my, I guess, same one through five as you, maybe in a different order, but that's where I'm saying
Right.
kind of like they're all to me. I posit all this doesn't really mean anything, thankfully, because we don't decide any of the playoff seedings. But to me, I'm with you on that locked, and then I got that. To me, it's almost that next group down is the more entertaining group because, like you said,
Hmm.
there's going to be some LCC takes on Mission, friendly fire potentially. Lincoln and Cathedral are going to, like, there's going to be some losses. I don't think we're going to have a clean sheet on too many teams by by that final week of the season. So I'm looking at it more like Granite, San Marcos, Mount Miguel,
Hmm.
and maybe to a small degree RB are all kind of sitting there at that next like five
And
slots of, if
yes.
any of those teams make a mistake, we're gonna and it's all gonna become the shell game really rapidly. But to me,
Uh,
that's also kind of like I don't, and I will give you the floor back in just a second.
mm,
Of
okay.
That's not the interesting part to me. The interesting part is one down from that, and it's Mission Bay, Imperial, Bishops, SFC, Olympians, Central, Torrey Pines, El Camino. Um, I think that would, like, so nine more teams were receiving votes. And it seems like we just do this year where it's like you hit eight and it just becomes this wide berth of tons of different opinions and thoughts ranging from under 500 modern day Catholic to a couple of unbeaten teams. I don't remember a field this wide in the most recent years. And I know that that's not going to say that Bishops or Olympian or some of those are going to jump like all the way up to open, but per just like the top 10 fun type of conversation, there's been some years where we've gotten to like week 7 or 8 and it's like, okay, we know who 1 through 9 are and maybe give 10 like, oh, like
Right.
team or whatever. So
I love that. No, I think Santa Fe Christian. I think it's cool that the voters give a shot out there to other teams. And I shout out to Romeo Carter over there at Point Loma. And you're right, like Imperial and Central Union, I think they play on October 3rd. That'll decide something down there, you know, in the top 15, if you will. Olympians undefeated and in the mix. You got to give Bishops, you know, a shot. I think they play Santa Fe Christian on Halloween night, which is nice. Santa Fe Christian, that should be interesting to see how Dax Labrum finishes the season. I just kind of started to pick him up on my radar, so I'm not too familiar with this game of his yet, but seems like he's been sharing the ball around with multiple wide receivers so far this season, so that's a good sign. But I'm looking, forward to see how far the Eagles can go this season on his back. But you're right. I really enjoy how the voters give these other teams, El Camino, Central Union, Mater Dei Catholic, Mission Bay. Shout out to Mission Bay. They're getting some real love. Started off 5-0. Got some great players over there. Should be really fun to see how the season progresses here. But
okay, so Eric, any teams right now that you're hitting the panic button on, or you're hitting the I'm late to this, but I want to invest in these? Anything at that crazy buy sell, like you're like, I did not expect this, or I'm ready to get off of that train?
I'm interested in what Mission Bay and Santa Fe Christian have to offer. And like I just previously noted, it'll be nice, the Imperials and the Central Union, but it's Olympian. I feel like is getting a lot of noise, making a lot of noise out there. And like I said, Point Loma, Romeo Carter. So it's not one team. It's just kind of like you said, everybody underneath the 9-10 spot, especially in week 5. It's just kind of fun getting to know them and seeing how they progress and how the D1, D2, and D3, et cetera, playoffs will open up. And I just enjoy it, man. I'm a fan of the teams. I'm a North County guy, you know. Grew up in San Marcos, you know what I mean? And so I fight for North County teams, but I love watching teams on the East County, love watching teams in the Southwest. It's just all over San Diego County, is amazing for me to watch, dude. So shout out to all these teams that are out there.
Let me go outside of the top 10, but stay in the North County, and let me ask you, Oceanside, ... Oh, hold on.
Yeah. Yeah, you're good.
they are sub 500 right now, but they are playing a big boy schedule, and they are not losing, like they're not losing these games 70-0. So is it this year? Are we on the path to 1 or 2 or 3 years? Like, how is Oceanside doing? Because I'm very curious. I feel like they're going to explode, and they're going to come back to some version of like Oceanside. Is it happening this year though? What is your North County guy take?
I want it to be that way, but to be honest with you, I mean, the honest truth is I don't think it's going to be this season. They have made some changes, and they have the right coaching staff in there. It does an amazing job, but I mean, they're going to be with Mount Miguel. They got to play San Marcos, Del Norte. Dude, that might be a little more even matchup. But then you're looking at Rancho Bernardo over there with Weddle in the game. Shout out to Gage Weddle. That kid's amazing. They got Poway and El Camino. I'm going to have to say it's not going to be this season as much as I would love to see Oceanside get back in.
Does a 2-8 Oceanside or a 1-9 Oceanside, but through that schedule, winning a D3 championship or a D2 championship or something like that, spark the comeback?
I don't know. I mean, that's the big debate. You have a losing record and you get yourself in the playoffs and you win a couple games and you win a championship. I mean, I guess we'd have to ask the Oceanside that. And I would probably say no, they have a lot of pride over there in Oceanside. They're going to want a D1 or up championship over there. But I see what you're saying.
I'm good on throwing that hypothetical to the coaches, because saying, hey, coach, how do you feel about going 2-8 and gaming the system? No, I get it. But
yeah,
your thoughts? Like, could that be something that this like sparks the guys to be like, hey, now we at least know what this feels like? to pass this on to younger generation.
Sure, and I don't think they need that. To be honest with you, I just think they need more players in the system. I think players are branching out. You have El Camino over there. You have other teams. That
It's
in
been
this landscape.
years of Mission Hills, El Camino, Torrey Pines, Cathedral, Carlsbad, all of those leaching at least some degree of talent from Ocean.
San Marcos,
Dan
La
Marcos, yep.
Costa, Canyon. You know what I mean? You're right, and Carlsbad is another player over there. I mean, they have a factory over there of O linemen, in general, and it's tough. It's tough to see. I have to shout out to my guy Tommy G out there, San Diego Varsity Sports. I mean, talk to him. They got a lot of pride. They want that D1 Open Championship. I don't know. I mean, if any coach in any program and any players, myself included, if we get ourselves into a spot where we can go in the playoffs and we can win a championship, yeah, man.
Take it.
We want to get that for the kids, dude. Are you kidding me, man? I'm going to take that for sure. And it would start a spark in me. You know what I mean? But I guess I'm just trying to show Oceanside that love, that's an old school program that cares about winning. But it could start something, getting back going up.
And it's one that when they get good, they stay good. Like winning is it feels like that's not just a generation comes through and rips them back a championship and then it's like disappears again. I feel like that's a contagious. Once that ball gets rolling down the hill, it's going to turn from a small snowball into a whole avalanche of Pirates.
I hope so for them. Yeah, I hope so for them, man. It's good.
Yeah, I hope so for all of us. And
I love those kids out there.
Hell yeah. And I like what you said about talking to Tommy G. I will get him on the show. WBK Sports is where you can find him. Eric, thank you so much for joining us for a quick convo. Let's make this a more regular thing the second half of this season. And then also make sure you follow the Vista Baseball program because that's what this guy's true passion in life is coming one out away from beating Granite Hills.
Hey, we can talk about that for a long time. That was a special game, man. Those kids are amazing. I love Coach over there, man. He's an amazing guy. I love the Granite Hills baseball program. They're amazing.
But
kids,
for those of you that know, that was a brutal game. That's one of those ones that sticks with you forever. Eric, thank you very much for me getting that little jab there and at the end. Follow WBK Sports for more.
Hey, we're coming for you, Vista Baseball, man. We're coming for you, dude.
Feel it. I appreciate it.